Hello guys from Birmingham International Airport. I'm travelling over to Latvia today, Riga, with Hungarian cheapskate specialists Wizz Air. And I've never been with them before, and I put it out on Twitter and got a few comments back just advising me on what they were like and what to look out for. I'm sort of pretty curious actually to see what it's going to be like. I only paid £12.99 for this one-way fare from here over to Riga. It should be interesting, shouldn't it? And Birmingham International. I'll tell you what, every time I come here now, my opinion of the airport just goes up. Absolutely fantastic. The link from the railway station to departures, now they've got the air rail monorail thing up and running again. Literally takes 5 minutes, and although it's pretty quiet at the moment, going through security is an absolute breeze. Again, 5 minutes max. So I'm here airside now. There's a few shops open. I've managed to get a coffee and a sandwich from Pret, and so things aren't all bad, are they? It's a beautiful day for flying, and I tell you what guys, let's just have a little look out on the ramp. As you can see there, we've got predominantly holiday flights and one or two Ryanair. I think there's a Logan Air kicking about round in the back as well, which is due to go out. A beautiful blue sky, a little bit of cloud, but I'm expecting a really nice flight over to Latvia later on today. And like I said, there's literally nobody about in this area of the departures lounge, so why don't you come with me, have a look at this flight with Wizz Air, and I'll let you know what my thoughts are when we get to the other side. Thanks for watching, and cheers for now. Okay, so here was our aircraft arriving on stand for this afternoon's flight, an Airbus A320 HALYW. I had previously flown in from Riga and had a scheduled turnaround time of just 30 minutes. I hadn't booked a seat, but the flight looked like it was nowhere near full, so I hung around at the top of the stairs with all the other cheapskates, hoping I could get an empty row after everybody else had got on board. Now it's a quick walk to the aircraft, and I decided to use the rear stairs. I don't know about you, but I much prefer this type of boarding arrangement. I think I've said it before, but it's just, the noise of the engine and the smell of jet fuel. I find it really gets the adrenaline flowing somehow. But let me know what you think anyway. And actually, I reckon the Wizz Air colour scheme looks really nice close up. It was about 4 and a bit years old, this aircraft, delivered to Wizz Air brand new in June 2017. But yeah, it looks almost brand new still, as it stood shining in the afternoon sun here at Birmingham Airport. Now there was a bit of a queue on the steps, but it didn't really take long for everyone to get on board. And there was a friendly greeting from the cabin crew, and I ended up with a pretty decent window seat on the left-hand side of the plane, just behind the wing. I would say the flight was, approximately 1/3 full this afternoon. We taxied out to the runway where we would be departing to the southeast, runway 15. One thing I would say is that there was no kind of greeting from the flight deck telling us about flight time, cruising altitude, all that kind of stuff. They weren't hanging around though, as we made a rolling start down the runway with some fantastic views over the West Midlands as we climbed out of Birmingham.
tikungan. Pagalbos smalki. Kā ir atkarīt jaunāko nedēlēnu kā Mars Jēkabs Reinis?
Okay, so let's have a look at the seat, and here we have the smallish table, I think it's fair to say, but it was clean, and there's a cup of space and a rigid front there for tablets and other things you might want to prop up while you're reading. And extended towards the passenger and then back again, as you would expect. There was no coat hook, but who uses them anyway? I was pleased to see an in-flight magazine available, the unimaginatively titled Wizz. I had starved myself all afternoon so that I could try out the onboard catering. All for the benefit of this trip report, you see, obviously. I went for the meal deal of a salami baguette, a Coke Zero, and a Kit Kat. This was a reasonable €8, I thought, although there was a 10% discount for card payments, which was the only thing they were accepting anyway, so that brought the price down to €7.20. Alcohol was available between €5 and €6.50, which again I thought was fairly decent value for this kind of flight. There's a section in the magazine called World of Wizz, which sounds like a 90s Manchester band, doesn't it? This is the bit that tells you all about the aircraft and the routes, the only section I normally bother reading, to be honest. And the fleet consists exclusively of Airbus A320s and Airbus A321s. And there's a whole page here devoted to explaining how to wear a mask properly. Well, if you don't know by now, it's quite interesting. They've now got over 1,000 routes, which isn't bad, is it, considering this Hungarian company was only founded in 2003. Legroom, well, it could be a bit tight for taller people than me, especially with stuff in the seat pocket. I was only travelling with a small bag and that had to fit under the seats in front, but I knew that, and for a 2.5-hour flight it was bearable enough. There's no recline, but again you don't really need that on a short flight like this. Well, the food arrived promptly. The baguette was okay, no more than that to be honest, but it kept me going. I had a quick read of the safety card, which is here if you're interested, and then the cabin crew came around collecting the waste and doing the boutique sales pitch. The crew, I thought, were actually very friendly and efficient, but I reckon they wouldn't tolerate much antisocial behaviour. During the flight, for example, some parents thought it was okay to let their kids run up and down the aisle constantly, and that resulted in an announcement from the crew telling them to refrain. And they also gave 1 or 2 warning stares to a couple of lads behind me who were messing about. And there was one toilet at the rear which I had time to go and have a look at, and considering it was constantly in use, I thought it was pretty clean, to be honest. All worked as expected. Who has time for a shave in the toilet, by the way? Her paper towels were well stocked, an air vent was here to cool you down. There were baby changing facilities and one large mirror opposite the toilet, which again was reasonably clean. Well, I returned to my seat, which was bathed in beautiful sunlight by now. I enjoyed the views as we approached Latvia on this beautiful evening. and stand by for one of the most raucous and enthusiastic rounds of applause on any flight I've been on. Yes, plenty of alcohol was consumed en route to Latvia this evening. We disembarked via the stairs front and rear with a short walk to arrivals and onto passport control. Just before the exit doors, there's a useful notice here on the left telling you which bus to catch to the centre of Riga and the price. If you take a taxi, like I did, make sure you choose a state licensed one and expect to pay about €25 for the same journey. No, I've got one book, thanks. Okay guys, just got to the hotel, and what did you think of Wizz Air? I thought they were alright actually. Typical budget airline. I hadn't tried them before, as I said, and so I wasn't really sure what to expect, but yeah, it's very much run of the mill, wasn't it, really? The cabin crew were absolutely fine, the food was alright, and reasonably priced. The aircraft was clean, so absolutely no complaints there. All in all, it was fairly efficient. I got to Riga, obviously it was dark, and we were a little bit late, and it took a while to get through passport control, but that was fine. Got another stamp, and the taxi driver who was supposed to be meeting me, long gone, unfortunately. But yeah, I got another taxi to the hotel, which was the same price anyway, so all is good, and I'm gonna maybe nip out for a quick beer and then get up in the morning and go and have a look around. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next time guys, cheers for now.